Hi, I'm wanting to talk to you today about Wix. Wix, the website where you build your website. I've built several websites over the last 15 years. Learned from a web developer, younger guy, and I've always had good luck building websites. And I endeavored to use Wix this time, and it's cumbersome. It's very, very short on information. There's no feedback. There's no way to get feedback. You don't know if things you're doing are actually being applied or not. Their setup is such that everything directs you to a how-to or some list of what you should do, or they have videos which are basically just repeats of what's written in text. And it's taken me about 30 hours to put together a website. I actually, by 15 hours, I wish I'd never used Wix, but by then I was so far invested in time, and I didn't have time to go someplace else and redo it. And their entire system is set up to prevent anyone from getting information from them. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. Finally, at the end of my rope, completely frustrated, I searched, and I mean searched, everything I could find in their dashboard and information, and I finally found a contact. And I want to tell you what, that was an hour's worth of searching just to find something that said contact I could click on. I clicked on it. My issue was, number one, they published my site before I was ready. Evidently, they have a time limit on that. Once you reach a certain point, it starts hitting you with publish, 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 publish. And I wasn't ready to go publish without Google, because I sell an online product that without Google's not going to do me much good. So I found out that their connect to Google thing is pretty much useless, and there's some kind of a block in place from Google or between Wix and Google. I don't know what it is, but the more I looked into it online and I read blogs, I found out that this is not an uncommon problem I'm having. I'm having a problem that almost everyone trying to use Wix is having. You can't get onto Google. It keeps telling you to do the same thing over and over. I've done it probably 10 times. I will say that at least 5 of my hours on this website are on this issue, trying to solve this issue. I would say that 10 of the hours, the other, which would make up the other half of the hours I'm doing on this website, are doing redundant actions to figure out what actually happened. And when I say it's cumbersome, that's part of it, but what's cumbersome is its slow reaction to doing things and its lack of information it gives you about what you do. So don't expect to install, say, a link or a web address or different information and then find it right away or have it work right away. And I'm not talking about in 2 minutes. I understand it takes a while. I'm talking about 2 hours, 5 hours a day. Wix is nothing but a bunch of advertising. Their entire system is so cumbersome, so hard to work with. And what finally made me make this video is this. I finally got in contact with him, like I said. I sent, the only way you can contact him is, you can't ever talk to anybody. There's no talking to anybody at Wix. Don't ever think you'll speak to someone at Wix. It won't happen. So I sent a ticket. The old, send us a message and we'll get back to you. Well, we get a while to do it. So I got the entire email back thing from Wix, and I told them, look, I've read all the instructions that you've given me. I've watched the video several times. I've done what you've said several times, and it doesn't work. What do you think I got as a response from Wix? I got a pasted copy of the text, the steps to solve the problem, that I've read 500 times. That no doubt anybody that contacts Wix about this issue has read at least 500 times. I have tried to do everything they said at least 50 times. And you know what? Still not up on Google. Still today. That's been 5 days ago. And what did I get? A pasted copy of the how-to or help steps that I've seen 500 times. I responded to him. I'm still waiting for a response. That's been a while. And I told him, well, I asked him, do people actually try to use your service and not read the instructions or the help or watch the videos? Because to me, that's square one. It's their site. It's what they're offering. It's how you work it. Always worked for me on other ones. Now, had GoDaddy had better templates, I wouldn't be in this mess. I wouldn't be with Wix. So here's what I want to tell anyone considering Wix. Run away. It's cumbersome. It's redundant because you're going to do things over and over and over. There is no feedback from them in any kind of a, I'd call it sufficient manner. And when you get that feedback, it often doesn't tell you anything, and you have to go back and try again to get another answer. And that includes as you're building your website and doing things that should be so simple, it's ridiculous. Importing pictures, importing links. It doesn't apply things like links and websites and things you install. It ignores them. It's like, I guess if I had to go off of what one of the guys I know that's a real computer guy told me, is that their servers are obviously not able to keep up with their workload. So what they're doing is they're constantly dumping the work going on their system because they can't keep up. So it kind of turns into this game of random, sorry you lose. I can't tell you how many times I worked hours to put things on there, and then it was just gone. I went to apply it, and whether to apply it, it erased it. So I want to save everybody else the absolute aggravation. I can't even tell you the aggravation level. And yeah, I'm not some 25 or 30-year-old web designer kid, but my son happens to be one, and we've done several websites. And this, without a doubt, is the most user unfriendly mess I've ever seen. And I want to tell you that unless you have some real computer education and you understand computer programming with code, and you understand a lot of the, I would call it, industry language, you're not going to get anywhere with Wix. So I'm going to say that if you're over 50, maybe 55, and you're endeavoring to put a website together, you're going to have an extremely hard time with this, nearly impossible. And I know I've chatted with a couple of people online, and even guys that are in their 30s that know what they're doing think this is a cumbersome, really hard to use thing, and they feel like the average person is going to spend, like I did, some 35 hours to not get what they wanted. So I hate to be that guy, but I don't think it's fair that you invest all that time and all that money into Wix, and you get to the end when you want to publish, and you're trying to get it all put together, and not only can you not do that, they're in such a hurry to get you off their system, they publish you whether you're ready or not. So me, I have one of my most important pages is not done. That's my product page where people actually buy the product, and it's not done. And they sent it out there not done. And completely without me selecting to do so. They just published it. So, fair warning to anyone thinking about using Wix. I say don't. And find somebody else. I wouldn't wish this company on my worst enemy.